যদি সবাই ফিরে যায়, ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায়, যদি গহন পথে যাওয়ার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায়, তবে পথের কাটা তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে, তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি আলো না ধরে, ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা আলো না ধরে, যদি ঝড় বাদলে আধার রাতে দুয়ার দেয় ঘরে, তবে বজ্রা নলে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে, আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে, যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে।
Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream. We are back with a podcast after a long time, and we have AcademicMan with us back as well after a long time. First of all, thank you AcademicMan for joining our podcast.
Yup, had nothing better to do.
Yeah, that's the value of our of our audience in the eyes of AcademicMan. You see, that's academic elitism we to keep talking about. So AcademicMan, we hear BJP is in fact apparently gearing up to win West Bengal for real this time around. I am skeptical, of course. I don't think they are. Why are you so positive all of a sudden? It's not like you were not positive ever. You were a little skeptical in between. Why are you positive yet again?
Because firstly, I see a lot of things happening.
Right. A lot of things have been happening. I'm just skeptical whether they will impact or mean something in the end or not. You of course disagree. Why then?
No, yeah. So yes, a lot of things keep happening every now and then, but finally the kind of things you need to happen are happening. So let me elaborate. So often BJP protests, there are things that BJP does. They protest against the state government and all that stuff. They protest against TMC party. That part is fairly common. That is not new. But finally, they are addressing the issue of false voters, SIR and all that, special intensive revision. That kind of thing means that there must. I mean, technically BJP is not doing it. Technically, the Election Commission is doing it. But it has certainly rattled, the powers in West Bengal, the powers that are in West Bengal. So, and rattle, it in a very bad way actually, because I'm seeing that the chief minister and many others, they are now scurrying for votes. They are talking about Bengali identity and stuff like that. A lot of things have happened in the recent past that has kind of cemented the view that amongst many people that certainly she is bothered, and not just her party and all. They are now getting some people from Delhi, people who work, and apparently they have been targeted by the Delhi police and stuff, and they're getting them to do press conferences and stuff like that, trying to say that they're attacking Bengalis all the time. So they've pitched that up a few notches, because this time it's going to be dangerous. Like this time it's the stakes are really high, basically.
So firstly, exactly what is going on with the Election Commission and the SIR? Educate us on that. A lot of non-Bengalis aren't following all that much of Bengal-based news, of course. So for them, and for me, because I haven't been following day-to-day politics all that much in the last few days.
So the SIR was something that happened last in 2002, interesting year. Anyway, so in 2002, when they took the electoral rolls and they saw that there are a lot of people who are dead who are still on the electoral rolls who can apparently vote, and many of them who do vote even after dying, and many people who are who have no proof of kind of citizenship and other things, who have 2 or 3 voter IDs. So a lot of these people were cancelled. Their names were cancelled from the electoral rolls. Roughly 28 lakh people were names were cancelled from the West Bengal electoral rolls in 2002. So again, that thing is going to be repeated, and the estimate is somewhere around 70 to 80 lakhs, because in Bihar they recently did that. They took out the names of those who are dead, or those who have shifted elsewhere, those who have 2 or 3 voter IDs, those who have no proof of their citizenship or voter ID and all that stuff. So they took out all of these people, all of these names, and that amounted to 65 lakhs. Okay, 65 lakh people's names were taken off the electoral rolls. Now, that means that now people who voted know that at least if you go to vote, they ask for your name and card and stuff, and usually that's how things happen. Now, with regards to how it happens with the electoral rolls, is that if there are certain people on the electoral roll, then even if there is, let's say, rigging of elections, then that cannot happen beyond a certain level. That happens beyond a certain level because there are so many extra voters. Now, if you take out the extra voters, then the rigging is more difficult to do. Not just that, it is easier for the existing voters to vote. So once the existing voters have voted and your name has been cut, they've signed against your name that you have voted, then it's difficult for somebody else to come and say, oh, I'm going to vote in that slot. So that's how it works. Now, because 65 to 70 lakh or more people will be taken, names will be taken out, there is a chance that a number of people who have been voting, especially for the ruling party, may lose their chance to vote at this point in 2026. This is a possibility, this is a probability, this is not 100% sure, right? But this is definitely, if 70 lakh voters are removed from the electoral roll suddenly, then that means a lot. Okay, so that
then
part is there.
in 2024, when pretty much everybody in the country, everyone from all political parties, all professions, and all sorts of political aisles, everyone thought BJP is going to do well in Bengal. Only some people thought they weren't. Then were there shenanigans and rigging adjacent kinds of behaviors taking place that happened because of these fake voters?
So I won't allege that there was rigging out here, but I will tell you some incidents. So for example, let's say in a Lok Sabha, there are 7 or 8 Vidhan Sabhas, right? So imagine BJP took a lead. If you take some seats like, North Kolkata and many others here and there, you will see that what has happened is, in the 7 seats, BJP has out of 7, 5 BJP has a lead. In 2 seats, you will see TMC having a massive lead, like maybe 30, 40, 50,000 votes more than the entire lead of the whatever is there in the rest of the Vidhan Sabhas. So in a lot of ways, in a lot of Lok Sabhas, you will see that suddenly some Vidhan Sabhas have unnecessarily high amount of voting. And most of these votes are for TMC. ऐसा भी हुआ है कि there is 1 vote for BJP and 900 votes for TMC. ऐसा भी हुआ है in some places. Or 2 votes for BJP and 2000 votes for TMC. So that kind of thing, if you analyze the Form 16 and all, you will get people who have been analyzing the Form 16 have been alleging that. So yes, some might call it rigging. Some might during the CPI era, we used to hear the present chief minister present Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee say scientific rigging. She used to call it. No, she and her party men used to call it scientific rigging. So utna bhi scientific nahi hai. As we can see, it's no longer that scientific. It's just I don't know. I mean, it's whether we can call it rigging or not, but the way it's being done is it's not done basically. And I believe that this might help. And more importantly, another thing that has been happening is the state election commission has been relieved of most of its powers. Like basically, the central election commission is mostly in charge of the state election commissioner right now.
And I think a lot
The
of us
DA
were surprised to find out that the election commission is not run by the center fully to begin with.
Yes. When the news came, a lot of people genuinely were surprised. But it is true, which would explain the panchayat elections and all that. Like all that stuff was happening, and even the Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha elections, which were expectedly taking, which need more protection and more kind of more open voting, more free and fair voting in these places. If you think about it, a lot of that is absolutely under the state government. So the WBCS officers who man the the election booths, some of the police personnel, a lot of the police personnel, the entire election machinery essentially is under the DM, the district magistrate. So the district magistrate controls the entire election thing under his or her command. So the district. So that's a lot of power, and the election commission might take over for. Actually, Mamata Banerjee said that in a meeting a few days ago when the election commission was, delegating more power to the central authorities. Then she said that, remember that before the elections I am there, and after the elections I am there. Only in the middle that the election commission comes. So don't get swayed by them or something like that.
Don't go too much wings. Yeah.
But then what happened is apparently, allegedly, four electoral officers, BLOs, who were supposed to correct the names of the local area, who were supposed to who were supposed to come back and who were supposed to kind of do the electoral verifications, electoral roll verifications. Four of them just got slapped with notices from the election commission to kind of submit the data properly, and because they didn't submit it, and then they've been threatened with jail time and stuff. Okay, in fact, there is jail time from 3 months to 2 years or something. So it seems that the Central Election Commission is very cognizant of the issues in West Bengal suddenly. This is not something we have seen in the last, 30 years or something. I don't know. Maybe last time in 2002, maybe they were, but not right now. So let's see.
Okay.
Let's see if this brings fruits.
Now, we will have to take Rishabh's question here in this context and take Abhay's comment as well. Two Agarwals here contributing to our non-Bohiragato discussion, and both incidentally from Kolkata. So Rishabh is saying, in my opinion, no SIR will matter if the people don't have the freedom to vote. Nothing less than president's rule will suffice. Thoughts? And immediately another Agarwal says, Bengal needs president's rule. This is not a very good look for the Bohiragato.
This is why people don't like Agarwals.
Then Rishabh is adding, saying, I was tracking the 2024 Lok Sabha elections in West Bengal. BJP was leading in the majority of West Bengal seats. When it became clear that they are not getting a majority, the situation reversed within an hour. Interesting.
Suddenly, exactly what I was telling you, right? Like, so BJP has a lead in 6 seats, and then suddenly in the 7th seat, TMC has massive lead that destroys all the leads of BJP.
Election Commission is run by the West Bengal Home Ministry. What the fuck is this joke? We didn't even know about these things. This tells you that not everyone in the opposition always wants to really win the elections, no matter where they are in the opposition, in the center or in the state. Because how else would this not be mainstream fucking news? This is the biggest thing to harp on about, and nobody did.
No, there was news. I wouldn't say that. So I'll give you some information there as well.
how much more politics do we need to follow to find out that the election commission is being run by the state home
No,
ministry,
no, no. You are
who is doing all
you
the harm?
are a musician. Stick to that. I'll tell
No,
you
no,
the
no,
news.
no.
I'll tell you the news. अभी
Then
news
what
में
is the
आते हैं.
job of the political campaigners? To not teach musicians about politics. They are going to teach
No,
politics
no,
to
no, no.
politicians.
See, you are. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. This is the kind of stuff that gets discussed in certain YouTube channels and
No,
stuff.
no.
This
If
does
people
not
are
get
going to
discussed.
blame the Prime Minister, Chief Minister, Opposition, Rahul Gandhi, deep state, aliens, Mars, God for everything, why not blame the election commission, which is being run by the Home Ministry?
No, that is there.
Why
No,
is
no.
not that the
So
most obvious
I'm not
criticism?
saying blame the. I'm not saying that. Let's all blame the election commission. But there is a person called Rajiv Sinha. Okay, I mean he still is there officially, but he used to be the election commissioner of West Bengal in the last panchayat elections. And if you remember what happened in the last panchayat elections, uh, then you will know what's happening. Now, having said that, the this Rajiv Sinha was apparently appointed by Mamata Banerjee personally. This is alleged by the opposition leaders. And at that time, there was huge, uproar regarding this. Now, I don't have to elaborate the state of democracy in West Bengal because I'll just give you all one example. In the 2018 Panchayat election in Bhangur, okay, the notorious area Bhangur, there was a opposition kind of thing to development of a power grid. And this power grid was apparently a big problem there. Now, I don't want to go into the fact that whether power grid was bad or good, but suddenly people became very active in Bhangur and they demanded that in the panchayat elections, they wanted free and fair voting, of course, which is not possible. So if you go and check the electoral data, the voter data in that area, in the panchayat election of West Bengal, most seats go uncontested. Why? Because if you try to file your nomination, you are threatened or whatever. After threat, kya hota hai, you know. Now, what happened is in 2018, allegedly some people were openly, unalived. Number one. Number two, what also happened was that there's a case in the High Court of Calcutta which says that for the panchayat election, you can send your nominations by WhatsApp because one couldn't physically go out and file nominations during the panchayat election of 2018. So this was all happening under the state election commissioner's aegis, by the way. So that's why it's a joke. Like it's a real joke, which brings us back to Rishabh's question that if people don't have freedom to vote, nothing will change. I totally agree, but I also partially disagree. So, given the present trends of vote, BJP has won outright according to 2024. 92 seats, Vidhan Sabha seats, according to the Lok Sabha. So, if you take the Lok Sabha and take out the Vidhan Sabhas from there, BJP has a lead in 92 and less than 5,000 में हारा है. मतलब they have lost by less than 5,000 votes, some around 30 seats or so. Okay, so that gives a tally of 122 or something. On top of that, there are at least 30 more seats where they have a lead of less than 10,000, the TMC. So imagine if those seats are targeted by BJP, then BJP can get comfortably 135 plus seats. I don't have to tell you if they have 135 plus seats in the Vidhan Sabha on their own, then it might work. I know you're smiling. I know you're, हंसो मत. क्या?
अब हम तो म्यूजिशियन है, हमको क्या ही पता. तो गरीब आदमी है और म्यूजिशियन भी है. So, what about the recent internal survey done by Prashant Kishore's former organization, which is helping TMC? Is that a real document or is that leaked just to fool BJP supporters into thinking that yes, tumhara baap aa raha hai abhi, and then again they become orphaned after the elections?
It is now the people who have been talking about it are not so lacking in credibility. Two of them who have discussed this are former journalists who have their own YouTube channels now because
sorry, Academic Man. We will have to first let people know what, in fact, is the survey, the findings of the survey.
Oh, yeah. The survey showed that TMC is having a very difficult time garnering votes for 2026 because of a lot of problems, which includes the SSC scam, the recent Malda Murshidabad problems, communal tension, and resulting outfall of that, and also the Abhaya case, which has actually eroded some of the women's votes and stuff. So a lot of these issues have kind of culminated in TMC actually losing a lot of its voters to BJP. So that's the overall picture. Not to mention that TMC has been in power for almost 15 years, so it suffers from natural anti-incumbency. And before people say there is no anti-incumbency in West Bengal, even the CPIM had to change Jyoti Basu's regime in the last minute to Buddha Bhattacharya to avoid anti-incumbency in that election, in the 2001 election. So you have to understand that there is something called anti-incumbency, and it hits everyone, including Narendra Modi, maybe. Because after 10 years of being in power, even he was hit by it with 240 seats. Now, I don't know if that was purely anti-incumbency or there was some other foul play at work. I don't know. Okay, because he does have the support base, it seems, because he has expanded the foothold of the party in places that it wasn't there before, in South, in Odisha, and these places. Anyway, Modi case is different. We'll discuss that later, perhaps. But if I am to make a point here about anti-incumbency, it's simply put, there are no jobs. There are the jobs that existed. That's the whole point of the SSC scam, which people are missing. The only area where people could get jobs was the SSC and some other government sectors, right? And the primary school teacher stuff. But these jobs are certainly, they're gone now because the High Court, the Supreme Court decided that 26,000 people will be kicked out of their jobs. Why will they be kicked out of their jobs? Because of the corruption. And who did the corruption? Allegedly, the state government. Now, the point is that this is the reason that that there is tremendous anti-incumbency even in the villages, which was typically earlier the TMC stronghold, right? The urban places weren't so much pro TMC in the last few years, but even the villages that provided Mamata Banerjee with a strong electoral base has partially eroded because of the SSC scam. This is my understanding.
What are you basing this claim on?
The SSC scam thing.
No, the fact that the claim that even in villages support for Mamata has eroded.
No, because if you look at what the SSC scam entails, right? The SSC scam means two things. Firstly, it means that a lot of people have lost permanent jobs. Now, SSC ऐसा job था कि people would get married once you got SSC. People would get loans once you have SSC. People who have children. Basically, you were like a prince in your village if you got the SSC, and now that
it is the SSC is the becoming doctor engineer for rest of the country. That's equivalent of that.
In Bihar, you have IPS officer, same as SSC in West Bengal, right? Yeah. So imagine if tomorrow suddenly Modi declared that okay, kal se IPS nahi hoga. Okay, tomorrow we will shut down all IAS, IPS exams. So what will happen in Bihar to Modi? Similar things are happening to Didi here, because you have to understand one thing. It was the one way. So in West Bengal there are no jobs, right? Like there are no private sector jobs left in West Bengal. Essentially, there are only these unorganized sector jobs, which most Bengalis nowadays can't do. So I know people who have worked on farmers' issues in West Bengal. and the farmers, their children no longer want to be farmers in West Bengal. Okay.
Which category does becoming a Trinamool Gunda commander? Unorganized or organized sector? No, I'm not being sarcastic. What is that considered? Are they just jobless criminals officially?
No, on pen and paper, they would be developers, promoters, they would be, some kind of government contractors as well.
Or they are Trinamool Congress activists, right?
They are activist is not a real job, right? But if you ask them what their actual job is, like they might even be paying taxes based on that.
What if the guy is just a party whole timer in Trinamool? Then what is are they officially employed?
Whole timer TMC में ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. मतलब if you think about, you can't find people like the CPIM or BJP where people actually sit or do work only for the party and have no other position. In the TMC, you typically have some side business, side job or whatever. But that side business and side job depends entirely on what. So anyway,
I see.
So forget these people. This is the problem with anything. Anything that is state run, right? So let's say in Tollygunge, you are friends with the two great people in Tollygunge, and you got a job as a spot boy in or whatever. Let's say you got a job as a musician or a music composer. But imagine when Tollywood's profits fall heavily, then how many people will that be able to sustain? Not a lot. So what happens is you officially have a job or whatever, but you don't get much money out of it. So then it's useless. And that is what has been happening in West Bengal for the last 20 years or so. Especially after Buddha Babu left in 2011, this has been steadily declining. The profits of industries, various places, they have gone down. So there are entire places in West Bengal which have a lot of flats, they have a lot of apartments, but you won't see a lot of people in those apartments. Okay. Especially in the Rajarhat area and many other places. So see, without actual profits, you can do tolabaji on a business. You can go and threaten business owners for money. But if the businesses don't exist, if there are no profits to fund you, then you get your profits are diminishing, right? And criminal activities don't always pay. Criminal activities have their own issues. So what happens, and as you see, that's why the panchayat takeover is so important in West Bengal. So if you have some criminal activity funding your thing, then you must be in a position of power to tell the police that, okay, see, I am the boss here, you can't put me in jail or whatever. So to be that boss, you have to be a kind of criminal. And if you are a criminal, then there are other people who are vying for that position as well. And because they are vying for that position, there is violence. And that means this is a risky job. This is not, this is not a stable, like a white collar job kind of a thing. Okay. So all this taken into account, there is an absolute decline in jobs, job prospects and everything. And so you will also notice that there is a lack of footfall in government colleges and universities in West Bengal.
JU and presidency are having record low applications.
Yes. And not just that, people aren't staying in the state to do higher education. As you know that, I think the most number of Bengalis right now, Bengali speakers, are perhaps found in Bangalore. There are more Bengalis in Bangalore than Calcutta right now, right? So that says something. That says something about what the state of West Bengal's economy is. Given that the only thing that was there to perhaps give you some money and upward mobility and respect was SSC.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The worst part about the SSC scam is people actually knew it was happening. Like I heard village people talk about it a long time ago. In the sense that village people say that, okay, I'll pay him and I'll get the job, something like that. Or I'll talk to this neta and I'll get this job. Talk matlab, you know what talk means, right? So essentially, that kind of thing was there. That kind of system was there. Which is why people of West Bengal are also definitely responsible for their downfall. They were okay with the SSC scam before it got caught, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then suddenly Abhijit Ganguly comes and he shakes things up. He orders probes and stuff, and then they uphold his order in High Court. And then the High Court says that all these jobs are invalid. And then suddenly the Supreme Court, after a long time last year, they say that, okay, these jobs are no longer there. And 26,000 people are kicked out of the jobs suddenly. And the problem that arises is that not only are 26,000 people losing their jobs, that's not the highlight. 26,000 families means perhaps 2 lakh votes. If I'm going to count extended family, 2 lakh, 3 lakh votes. Forget all that. Forget the votes and forget the people who lost their jobs. The bigger issue is right now that there are no avenues for you getting a job. So if you're a young guy or girl who wants a job, who wants a government job, then you don't have that anymore. Okay. This year, the SSC form is out and only 2 lakh people have signed up, where I think 15 to 20 lakh people used to sign up for these exams, if I'm not mistaken. If somebody can give the numbers, it will be better. I think only 2 or 2.5 lakh people have signed up for this. And not a lot of them will even join. Like, there is no guarantee, right? Like, even if you crack SSC and 5 days later there's somebody puts a case on you and you're screwed again. So there is no guarantee of jobs left in West Bengal. And in rural Bengal, that affects people even more, because not only did a lot of people sell their lands in rural, so देखो urban area में जो Bengalis है, so there are a few 3 or 4 type of people living in urban Bengal, right? One is the Bengali Bhadralok, who doesn't have much land left in his house, probably has 2 flats or whatever, small house in Calcutta or whatever. So the Desher Bari, that whole concept of having a lot of land in the village, that was more or less done away with post-independence. Okay. वैसे भी West Bengal में there were land reforms by the left front, which we called it land reforms. Like, there was a cultural revolution in China, the same way there were land reforms in West Bengal, where they took away the lands of dominant landowners and redistributed it, right? So-called redistributed, and that totally destroyed the economy, whatever was left at that time, and now definitely. So the Bhadralok does not have much land. So there is no landed income for him or her. With regards to Muslims, most of them are in the unorganized sector, autowala, totowala, puncturewala, this, that, whatever. So they don't give a damn about SSC, right? They don't have they might have land, they may not have land. Many of them don't have lands. The urban ones don't have a lot of land. They have jhuggis and jhopris and they have bikes and stuff, but they don't necessarily have land. Now, if you come to the people who are the promoting class, who are the underbelly of the Calcutta society and all, they have lands in the cities. So they don't have acres of land. They profit off that thing. They are very rich, but they don't necessarily buy land in the village per se. And you have menial laborers from Bihar and all. Now, these people have land in Bihar and UP. They don't have lands in West Bengal villages. Now, who has land in West Bengal villages? It is the peasants. Okay. The erstwhile peasant class. Hindu Muslim Milate. Mostly Bengali Muslims and Bengali Hindus who live more in the western side. They have land, some in the northern part, so they have some land. So why is land so important? Because earlier, during the CPIM time, the land was a source of income for the peasants. But because they destroyed agriculture after the so-called cultural revolution and land reform, that thing, what happened was that those lands don't give you as much profit as you think they do. Okay. So a lot of people don't want their children to be farmers. A lot of young kids don't want to be farmers anymore. So the income from farming is very low at this point, despite West Bengal being the highest rice producer in the country at this point. So what happens after that as a result is your land essentially becomes a tool for bargaining. So you can sell off the land and you can earn some money, and then you give the money, you keep the money as in your bank or whatever, or you can use the land, the money you sold, money you got from selling the land, and get buy a job, a government job, right? Which is the next best thing in West Bengal, right? So as a result, what has happened is a lot of people actually sold their lands and gave the money to their local netas. And they expected some return in the form of a job or whatever. Even if contractual, ek time pe ye bhi tha ki contract, see, in government contractual jobs, it essentially means a permanent job, right? There are no actual contracts there. They're basically, the government gives you a kind of side gig and says that, you can stay there forever. That kind of thing. So what this has done is, they have given up the land and they have actually paid 10 to 15 lakhs for jobs. And not only that, many of them haven't got the jobs. Jinko job mila, a lot of them lost those jobs recently. So as a result of all this, there is huge disillusionment among, especially the Hindus. See, all this government job aspiration is more among Hindus than Muslims, right? So this, whatever was remaining among them, has gone. Now you will ask me, okay, but a large section of the electorate Hindu electorate was already voting for BJP. So what? Like, how will this change? Right? Actually, a lot of Hindus were still voting for TMC because a lot of them were hoping for these jobs and stuff. Right? They were still voting for the TMC because they thought that, okay, if BJP comes, then whatever I give the money is useless because I gave the money to a local TMC guys. So now what will happen when the BJP comes? So that thing is completely overturned now. Now they are out for blood. Now forget that part as well. What has also happened is, anyone who was kind of, who wanted a job is also disillusioned. Many people who thought that they were, they would stay here, do businesses and all. So there is a complete decline. People in West Bengal don't usually go for business. Bengalis don't usually go for businesses unless, every other avenue is over. So once all sapna toot gaya, then, you go for a business or whatever. But even then, it's not easy, right? And in West Bengal, to do any kind of business, you must pay the whatever. So anyone who is in any sector of West Bengal, any economic or any other sector, is having to pay despite having low profits. Okay. So this has caused immense damage to the per capita GDP of the state. So I think that if you actually cut out the per capita GDP hisab of West Bengal, I think the per capita GDP of India increases quite a bit. I think we are pulling the rest of the country down, more or less.
We are doing that to India, to the rest of the country in many factors, in many parameters, especially press freedom, I think. Press freedom, joblessness, all of
absolutely.
that, child marriage, child nutrition, all of that. India's stats are brought down by West Bengal single-handedly. Corruption.
So anyway,
election violence, all of that thing.
Yeah. And the worst part right now is that there's no hope. So again, now you might say that, okay, then where's the BJP in all this? So a lot of these
No, we will get to that a little later. We will get to BJP's hopefulness a little later. First, we will take Shayok's very important question that he has repeated a bunch of times. We will take that right after you answer this. I have just one concern regarding people changing their in your claim of people changing their minds in the context of the SSC scams, whether them being directly affected by the relatives losing their jobs, or maybe second order, third order levels they are impacted. But see, in the end, we all know most of those teachers who lost their jobs, most of them are absolutely rabid urban Naxals in their upbringing, in their families, in their education, in their worldview today, in their voting patterns, in their generations, maybe in their family. Now, what kind of a mental shift needs to happen in their minds to finally vote for that party which they have hated with every fiber of their being? Because just a personal grudge that yes, Trinamool is so corrupt that I lost my job, but that party, I will vote for that party for whom all my Muslim brethren will get killed, and business men from Gujarat will take over the country, and I will probably be thrown out to Bangladesh. All of that all of that propaganda that they do actually believe in from the bottom of their hearts, are they going to vote for that party just because they are so pissed off with the other party which took away their jobs?
You massively overestimate the ideological commitment of people in West Bengal. Number one.
That just the teachers at least.
No, that's where you're wrong. The teachers who lost their jobs are not actually mostly leftists. They are not leftists.
What are they?
Jhatka laga. They are
What
not.
are they?
Mostly, they are not leftists. They are. Why most of the people who got the jobs doing the scam, they are not leftists or right wing. They are nothing. They are just people who wanted a job. And if you go to actual rural Bengal, there is very little ideological commitment towards the left. I can tell
The
you.
teachers are not leftist in what sense? They are not CPM supporters, or
they are not CPM supporters. They are not any supporters. I can guarantee you this.
But if I ask them, if I ask them 50 policy positions, 49 out of them will be leftist positions, right? And therefore they hate BJP with all their guts, right? Because they don't know BJP is as leftist as he wants them to be.
No. This is where you're wrong. वो तुम बीजेपी कट्टर बीजेपी समर्थक को बुझाओ वो भी even I know people who are actual like huge Modi fans, BJP supporter, even people who say industry chai. I talked to them about privatizing healthcare and education, and they lose their minds. They are like, nah, eita kora jabe na. This cannot happen. This is the worst thing in the whole world. Okay, so you can't. You have to understand that the baseline is left.
But the baseline is left. The baseline is indoctrination towards the leftist way of thinking. So therefore, then voting for BJP will have to pierce through that barrier of indoctrination, which you are saying is not a factor because they are not ideological.
The BJP is not appealing to people on left or on economic positions in West Bengal.
Yeah, but they don't know that. They think BJP is a right-wing party.
No. BJP is appealing on very different parameters in West Bengal. In West Bengal,
them on what parameters?
We won't steal your money. We will give you some Lokhir Bhandar and all more than Mamta. We will control riots which are happening in Malda, Murshidabad, whatever. These 3 planks. They have nothing to do with right-wing policies.
And the teachers who are indoctrinated to a leftist worldview are convinced of these arguments from BJP.
They don't need to be convinced of BJP's. That is the whole point. That's what I was telling you. Majority of BJP's voters and cadres right now come from the CPIM. वो लोग actively CPIM करते थे. A lot of them. Look at Mahfuza Khatun. Okay, look at many of the people. Look at people like Mohit Rai and all. Mohit Rai, he turned much earlier, of course. But many of the BJP's core voter base right now, who are like rabid BJP lovers in West Bengal, many of them used to vote for CPIM and campaign for CPIM like 10 years ago. Okay. So don't forget all that. The ideology of the CPIM is limited to South Calcutta. Always don't forget that. Like the CPIM never actually, they did party class and all that, but honestly speaking, this is why you must watch that play called Shikol Chera Hater Khoje. It is such a beautiful depiction that the CPIM never actually made the rural classes educated. Okay. So they were never the kind of educated Marxists you will find in universities. They are all jugadus. जैसे होता है, मतलब a jugaru will vote for BJP, Congress, anyone, depending on who gives them more benefits, financial and whatnot. They don't give a shit about nationalization and stuff like that. They or even libertarianism. You have to sell them libertarianism on their terms, right? So the CPIM never actually educated most of its cadres. Okay. There was I told you this story before. There was once a tribal man and a few of his tribe people carrying the CPIM flag and walking through the fields in a village. And teacher asked them, "Oh, you guys are communists now?" He was like, "I'm not a communist. I'm CPIM." Okay. For them, it was like a caste. It was like a status group, powerful status group, which would give you some, power. It was never about the ideology. That's why the CPIM is reduced to 4% vote share. Now it will go down even more this year because a lot of the leftists, they have actually, they were like, I'll vote for CPIM not because, secularism and stuff. CPIM people are not as secular as you think they are. It's because they think BJP chai wala hai, Mamta kam wali bhai. They think of Mamta as a domestic worker and Modi as a chai wala. They hate these people. So that's why they vote for CPIM. And that section needs some job and something. Now they can't tolerate Mamta, and their party is nowhere close to power anymore. So they are going to vote for BJP. A large section. I'm not saying all of them, but definitely the few lakhs of people who still vote for CPIM, a lot of those votes are going to go to the BJP.
If ideology is not important, then what does the phrase "system unka hai" imply?
System unka hai to ye alag baat hai. System, if you look at somebody like Rajiv Kumar, okay, who is a very controversial figure in West Bengal right now. He's been controversial for the last, 15 years. So, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, who is a very respected IPS officer, he was very close to the Buddha Bhattacharya government, and now he's very close to Mamata Banerjee. And trust me when I say this, there is no, for you and me, they are both socialists, right? But for the people working under them, it's a sea change. Like actually, Buddha Bhattacharya comes closer to the right than the left. So my point is, it's not the ideology doesn't matter. It's about efficiency and what you get out of the system, right? It's about how you can serve the state and get some benefits out of it. So look at Alapan Bandyopadhyay. Alapan Bandyopadhyay was very close to the CPIM. Now he's very close to TMC. And I can guarantee you, if tomorrow Suvendu Adhikari becomes the CM, they will all be very close to Suvendu Adhikari. So all of that defines most. Why do you think the BJP's primary voter base comes from CPIM? These people who were CPIM cadres till 10 years, 12 years ago, they all went to party classes. Many of them went on Michils. Many of them heard Biman Bosu and Jyoti Bosu and Buddha Bhattacharya speak and all that shit. They went through the entire channel. Now they hear Modi speak. They don't give a damn. So that's the whole point. Like you can't, ideology se dekhoge to nahi hoga West Bengal. West Bengal is not for beginners.
If see CPIM not winning more than 4% votes, etc. Or that movie quote you talked about, that where the farmer says, the farmer is so uneducated on this topic that he says, I'm CPIM, I'm not communist. But the victory of CPIM's ideology in the end is that the farmer might not be able to quote Lenin, Stalin or Trotsky, but he knows that the answer to solving any of his problems in his professional life is get 200 people and do a dharna outside the factory.
Yes, so that's why Arun Shourie said that BJP is Congress plus cow. BJP is not non-leftist. BJP is more leftist.
See, my point is that the urban Naxals who are teachers, who may or may not be voters of CPI, are convinced of this fact, which has been indoctrinated and hammered into their head, that BJP is a right-wing party and non-right-wing things are good, and all of their positions are in fact leftist. No matter how much they are similar to BJP's, they don't ever find out that they are in fact similar to BJP.
I don't think,
and therefore won't they treat BJP as an untouchable party?
The only reason people thought of treating BJP as untouchable was because of Gujarat riots. Nothing else. Otherwise, BJP's policy positions are more leftist than Buddha Bhattacharya. Okay.
Who has ever given a shit about BJP's policy positions? Honestly, outside BJP's core voter base, who has?
So when you say right wing, you have to qualify socially right wing or economically right wing. Because
in this context, I just mean BJP supporter versus or non-BJP supporters.
But even there, BJP supporters actually have the upper hand on the leftist thing. Because BJP supporters say that Modi ji ka sab scheme pahunch jata hai. Garibon ke paas, garibon ka masiha Modi. हर घर में टॉयलेट, हर घर में ये वो करंट, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, एवरीथिंग, लाडली बहना योजना, दिस दैट, व्हाटएवर. सो मोदी इज मोर लेफ्ट विंग देन एनीवन in the history of India. Okay. So in that sense, if economics is what you're talking about, then I don't think BJP has any issues. That's why Suvendu Adhikari says, তোদের লক্ষ্মীর ভান্ডার বাড়িয়ে দেবো, এই করে দেবো, সেই করে দেবো. He doesn't, like, nobody in BJP talks about right-wing policy positions in economics.
Yeah.
Where
And
the
do you
BJP
think
was
the people of Bengal know that?
Yes. Bhai,
And the urban Naxal teachers know that BJP is not in fact right wing.
Are teachers hai hi nahi urban Naxal? That's what I've been trying to tell you. Teachers,
just because they are not voters of CPM, they are not urban Naxals.
Are wo baat nahi hai. They are not urban Naxals because they don't have a Jadavpur professor who has a secure job, who got a job because of TMC or CPIM's leftist, thing. Who got a job because he read too much Arundhati Roy or Marx, right? Those guys are different from the school teachers. The school teachers, you are overestimating their, their ideological commitment.
Yeah, they are wannabe urban Naxals, pretty much.
They are. That's the whole point. They are wannabe Anubrata Mondols. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They are wannabe Anubrata Mondols. They are no longer, the Bhadralok is not the dominant caste of the state anymore. The Bhadralok no longer sets standards in rural Bengal. You listening to foreign music and watching Christopher Nolan movies doesn't make you powerful in West Bengal anymore.
Yeah.
It might mean something in Bangalore, but it does not mean anything outside of Calcutta anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you, people want neoliberal, like, kind of dikchik DJ stuff, okay? And they don't necessarily subscribe anymore to that thing where humko urban Naxal banna hai because it is great. That used to be, and even there I'm telling you, the CPIM was heavily limited in its, in its appeal. Like, so what it did was, the CPIM always maintained a very nice caste hierarchy. So its actual people who benefited out of being urban Naxals were upper caste in the BBK, Kolkata BBK. Okay. But outside of that, you will never find them actually giving benefits of urban Naxalism to the other castes. The other castes were basically, they were like, ha, tum vote do, hum tumko ye dega, wo dega, ye dega, se dega, ye dega. They never really chewed their brains on national security and stuff. Okay, when the CPIM took out a michil in Calcutta in the support of Pakistan recently, after the Operation Sindoor thing, then what happened is that nobody in rural Bengal joined. In fact, in rural Bengal, Muslims of the TMC took out michils in support of Operation Sindoor. And even Hindus in rural Bengal took out michils in support of Operation Sindoor. Okay, only in certain parts of Calcutta, certain, very old people and some 2-3 Gajakhors from Jadavpur, they took out some rally in the support of, Pakistan in Calcutta. इससे कुछ नहीं हुआ. मतलब the number of people, तुमको 144 भी करना नहीं. 144, if you have to put 144, you need 5 people. There weren't even 5 people there. Okay.
No, there were
30-40 people लेके ये लोग निकल रहे हैं. Out of a state of 10 crore, they are nothing. And that is why I'm telling you that the CPIM always maintained this. The real beneficiaries of urban Naxal ideology were limited to Calcutta, which is why there is a perception that every Bengali is an urban Naxal. That is not true. Okay. Even during the height of CPIM rule, I'll tell you what happens. So, during the Kargil war, some leftist party, not necessarily the CPIM, they were campaigning against the Indian armed forces. Okay. And the local autowalas, this is high, like, ekdam high point of CPIM. Okay, 97, 98 mein Kargil. So this was like high CPIM time. TMC is nowhere to be found. No BJP at all anywhere. So the autowalas and Toto to tab nahi tha. Autowalas and the local laborers, who are mostly Bengalis back then in that area. I'm talking about South Calcutta, by the way. They went and attacked that rally. They attacked that stage. They said, no. We are nationalists. We don't give a shit about all this. We'll vote for you in the election, but we won't support this crap against the country.
Hmm.
So do not overestimate the power of the ideology of CPM when it comes to nationalism. Yes, when it comes to free stuff, free shit, free jobs, free this, free freebies, then every party is the same. BJP is actually the worst of all of them because BJP is actually made it more efficient, so more organized, and now you can't logically sometimes even complain against that. Now all you have is roads and stuff. So in that sense, the BJP is more leftist than the CPM. Now the only reason BJP was untouchable for so long was because peacefuls. Okay, now you are supposed to love peacefuls no matter what, right? That thing has been slowly dismantled after 2019 ka CAA riots, and then even more after the recent incidents, even more after Hasina's exit from Bangladesh. Okay, that much I can tell you. And it has been slowly eroding on social media for a very long time, thanks to social media.
Now let's take Shayuk's comment here. This is very, very much in the context. I'm playing devil's advocate for BBKs of Kolkata. Don't you think there is a strong undercurrent or current of overturn window shift, where the new generation of BBKs, caste, not CPM, has shifted their vote to BJP? In cities, I'm not so convinced. What do you think?
Some are there, not all, of course.
Some are there. It's
definitely.
definitely shifting. Is it enough?
I recall this group thing where very early on, many years ago, actually, maybe when I say many years, I mean like 5-6 years ago. Okay, so I was in this Facebook group, and they were discussing jobs in West Bengal, and this was a educated group. This was like all BA, MA passed people, basic, I mean, MA is now useless degree, but even then I have to say that they studied and got their master's degrees and stuff. So suddenly peaceful writes that before 2014 we all loved each other, but after 2014 we all hate each other. This is bad, this is sad, whatever. So many people attacked that guy and said that কত ভালোবাসা ছিল জানি 46 কি হয়েছিল জানি etc. And this was 5 years ago, by the way. This was in an educated group. So even the so-called bhadralok or aspiring bhadraloks, their overturn window has shifted a lot. Now I'm not saying everyone. Of course you'll find the random idiot who is still secular at heart. Interestingly enough, most of these idiots will be outside of Calcutta. Okay. So there is a perception that their voice and vote matters, but if you round them all up, you will not even have 2 lakh people. Okay, which is a joke. And they don't even come back home for election. So their voice there and their views don't matter. Number one. Number two is like I've been telling you for a while now, people don't give a damn about being like Netaji Subhas. They want to be like Anubroto Mondol. He is the trendsetter for rural Bengal, and even urban Bengal, people listen to Diljit Dosanjh and people listen to I don't know, some whatever, those guys, and they don't care anymore about listening to Rabindra Sangeet. Okay, that section is very small. Like they don't matter electorally, and not even does their voice matter much these days.
Yeah. So we actually discussed many things in depth to such an extent that we are now finally going to start our third topic in this larger topic of updates from Bengal. So why did Kalyan Banerjee leave Trinamool all of a sudden? What is going on here? Are Trinamool trying to distract us from something? What's this all about? Why?
Kalyan Banerjee left the TMC for the same reason that Dilip Ghosh got married right in the middle of the Malda Murshidabad thing.
So Kalyan Banerjee also had sex with someone in a hotel room.
That part came later. But his timing, Dilip Ghosh's timing for marriage.
You don't think the marriage happened because he knew his porn stuff is going to come out?
I didn't think that he expected it to come out. I think that was, see, I think he was aware of it. Again, this is all allegedly. I'm not insinuating.
We don't even know if that video is in fact of Dilip Ghosh or not. It's only a
We don't even know if it's him. Allegedly,
yeah.
it's a lot of people.
Then bunk the topic. Yeah. Then
Yeah, yeah.
move on from it. Yeah.
But
So Colonel
my
Banerjee
point
supporting
was that
TMC. Why?
I found it
Yeah.
very fishy. I found it very fishy that Dilip Ghosh got married, and the media completely, TMC media, CPM, everyone was like Dilip Ghosh Jindabad. Huh? I was like, what the hell? There's a bloody full-scale problem going on in West Bengal right now. And this dude who apparently is Hindu Hriday Samrat in West Bengal is getting married right now. Like that seemed like a joke to me. But then actually I've been seeing this for a while now. Whenever some interesting, important topic comes up, like citizenship, Bangladeshi, SIR, this, that, suddenly there's a spat between two TMC leaders. Suddenly somebody says something very controversial. Suddenly somebody gets married. Suddenly there's some other stuff, right? So this is all riffraff. This is all, this is just smoke screen. So Kollan and Mohua, they have probably been instructed by the top leaders to fight. They're fighting.
That's what I've been thinking.
One day
Yeah.
they will, I was going to say whatever. I was going to say kiss and make up, but I won't say that anyway. So, but something akin to that. Like they'll all be, this is all a joke. Like remember, Kollan Banerjee is highly dedicated to Mamata Banerjee.
I see.
If he really cared about Mamata Banerjee's image, then he wouldn't have done this. But unless he has been instructed to do this, then he.
What about the Grouse issue? Him being the most dedicated in the parliament and not getting much promotion or goodies.
You see, some people are the kind of people who love being middle managers, but who are so. Dekho, I'll tell you something about Kollan Banerjee. I find him deplorable. Absolutely, okay. I absolutely hate his body language, the way he talks, everything. He's a joker, but he's a very loyal joker. But he does everything according to what Mamata Banerjee tells him. And I mean everything. I think if before he goes to shit also he asks for permission. Okay. That much I can tell you. Yeah, I mean, he has never been out of line with her. And as far as even recall that, even though there are divisions within the party and this and that and whatnot, remember one thing, they all know that if BJP comes to power, they are all screwed. So it doesn't matter if right now they are fighting or whatever. Right before the elections, they will all be united.
Right. In the middle of all this, Rajputro gets promoted to a significant position in the parliament. Tell us about that, and also tell us, is this a way to keep him off of West Bengal politics?
Yes and no. So remember when she wanted to remove Suvendu Adhikari from the state administration, so she sent him to the parliament. Like he contested the parliament election and won. And then when he got close to the BJP there in 2014, she again told him, "Na, come back." 2016 में उसको मैंने ये बता दिया. Okay. She made him a minister in the state to keep an eye on him. And then he left in 2020. So forget what happened exactly to Suvendu Adhikari. But recall that I have been saying this for a while now, and even on Navavimarsh I've said it, that Bhaipo is a very ambitious person. Personally, I don't dislike him much. He like if something were to go wrong in 2024, the Abhaya case, I think he would have been the biggest beneficiary of someone resigning. And right now, I think that part has been satisfied. That part has been kind of put at bay. And this is like Margdarshak Mandal in some ways. Like when BJP tells someone, you're so senior, you're so awesome, you deserve to be at the top, and then put them in Margdarshak Mandal, something like that. So perhaps that is my understanding. It may not be true. but it doesn't, like Lok Sabha mein TMC ka head is like, it's kind of like a joke. That's why they kept Shudip Bandyopadhyay there for so long. Like it's like a consolation prize. Okay, so it's not really that important, right? So I don't know. I don't think it's a very important position. You're muted. Yeah.
I have heard that Kullan Banerjee does everything that Shruti Banerjee asks him to do, and Shruti Banerjee does whatever Mamata Banerjee asks him to do. So, what's this story of three Banerjees running the entire state's machinery in parliament?
Apart from the BVK thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So Shudip does not strictly always do what Mamta tells him to do, as far as I know.
Yeah.
He does not protest as much as Mamta intends him to do. Actually, Kollan does that. Kollan protests the loudest in the most rowdy fashion and all that. But Shudip actually doesn't do that. Actually, Shudip can't do that. Like, he's not so loud as a person.
Yeah.
But therefore, some sections think that he is actually playing a double game. Again, this is some sections allegedly. I don't know whether this is true or not. Anyway, we're focusing too much on these guys. Remember, they have loyalty test almost every few weeks to Mamata Banerjee. They are all like, Mamata Banerjee ko chhod ke kuch hai nahi inke party mein. Ektai post, baki shab left post. Okay.
So Abhishek Banerjee, even if he is kept at bay from Bengal, it's only up until 2026 elections, you are saying?
देखते हैं और 2026 इलेक्शन में क्या होता है वो भी देखते हैं.
No, but speculation is our game in this live stream. देखते हैं बोल के तो नहीं.
देखते हैं नहीं. I believe that the BJP is serious for a change, so that gives me some hope.
Here's an interesting question. What about the irritating species of religious Bengalis who are proud Hindus but more proud Bengalis, hence find threat on Bengal more than threat on Hindu, and hence worship Pishi and Ma Durga?
Have you
Say
seen...
Say something that won't lead to me losing 100 subscribers by the end of the live stream.
No, this is a very small section. Again, this is there. I'm not going to deny it.
Is it a small section?
No, it used to be a very large section. Used to be a very large. I won't deny that. Till 3-4 years ago, this was very large. मतलब TMC का आधा वोटर बेस ये लोग ही थे. Till see, in 2021 what happened? I'll tell you what happened in 2021 elections. In 2019, BJP got 18 seats. Actually, allegedly 19 seats. Anyway, in 2021, Mamata Banerjee cranked it up, like the propaganda and stuff. She said if BJP comes to power, Muslims will lose their citizenship and all that. This is all in the official thing. So this is not allegation. This is real. Whatever she said. And this convinced most of them that अभी BJP आ जाएगा, Muslim खतरे में है. So they organized heavily, like 95% से ऊपर they started voting for for TMC. Okay. Very interestingly, a large section of Hindus actually skipped the vote of TMC in that time.
Okay.
But it wasn't enough. Like in 2021, again, what happened is BJP's vote share came up to almost 40%, but TMC's vote share crossed 47% or so. So with the 35% of Muslims, plus imagine 12% of the Hindu, whatever Hindu vote was that, out of the total, that went to Mamata Banerjee. But this has been slowly declining ever since, and especially in Hindu areas. Also, the BJP performed horribly in the Jongle Mahal and all these places, like where there is less Muslim population, there BJP performed actually very badly. Okay. So in that sense, अरे भाई इतना negative comments ऊपर में मत दो, मेरा मन खराब हो जाता है. So भाई, this is why I hate making public this thing, क्या बोलूं मैं,
predictions.
Now what I was going to say is that yeah, so that happened. But if you look at the 2024 elections, what happened is uh, certainly a large section of Hindus have shifted base to BJP. Now, BJP has around 38.9% votes and TMC has 43 or 44% of the vote. Now, given all that plus allegations of rigging, this, that, whatever, you would think that, okay, then BJP is not gaining a lot, but it has gained in terms of seats. But, and vote share slightly. But more importantly, the BJP is holding on to that. Now, this is obviously all Hindu. Like in TMC, you can be a Hindu or a Muslim as a voter, but in BJP, all the votes are from Hindus. There are no Muslim voters in the BJP. Or very few, maybe like 0.01% or something. It doesn't matter. So, if you take that into account, the TMC has not actually been able to hold on to a lot of its Hindu voters. Now you will say that, okay, but then what about those people who are religiously Hindu but vote for TMC? That's what we're talking about, right? Actually, because her vote base is eroding from that section heavily, every election and every year, especially after the Bangladesh issue, she did the Digha thing. There is a reason she did the Digha thing. She wants to appear to be a Hindu. Hindu
is it succeeding or not?
I doubt it because Digha has no footfall whatsoever. Very little footfall. Initially, kuch tha, people were like, okay, great, but it's not working so much because you see, after Bangladesh and SSC, these both hit, right? Like the SSC scam also hit these same people. So a lot of these people used to pray religiously to Ma Durga and all, and then they used to go and vote for TMC because they thought, okay, I'll get a job from TMC, or I'll be able to retain my job from TMC. But once the Supreme Court ordered ki nahi, tumhara naukri jayega no matter what, so do not dismiss this section, okay? Because if you're a Hindu, you want this kind of job. For the Muslims, the SSC scam doesn't mean a lot because a lot of them are not. Their ambition is not to be school teachers. Not a lot of them. Okay. But among Hindus, it is a very important ambition to be a school teacher or college teacher or whatever.
Yeah.
And
it gives them getting a bit of the Brahmin riz, being able to pass off some of the Brahmin vibes. That desire is also, of course, ingrained in our hearts and minds for centuries.
And no, it's the most stable job, right? Like you don't have to actually go to work, right? So that and you get
what
paid
do you mean
every month.
You don't have to go to work.
Yeah, let's say the government schools and colleges don't have the highest standards of attendance, even for teachers.
Why? Isn't it better than Western style capitalism? Anyway, we will take Gary Trevino's question now.
Western style capitalism,
yeah.
हमारा नवोविमर्श अंकित शाही propaganda में पड़ गया है नवोविमर्श. They're all blaming it on everyone's blaming Western style capitalism for everything, including Ankit Shah. So,
what's the reaction of Bengalis to Bangladeshi language thing? I'm out of station, so not in touch with ground reality. What do you think is the reaction of Bengalis, and not just Kolkata's, but
I haven't seen it on the
reaction of
much.
Specifically Kolkata and specifically rest of Bengal as well. Not from
some people in it didn't. I did not see much news on this. Actually, she kept claiming it, and then what happened is she got one woman from Delhi who allegedly was attacked by the Delhi police for being a Bengali. And then they did a press conference, but it all fell flat. It was like that one time when Mamata Banerjee's, there was a gash on her head, and and she claimed whatever something, and then people started doing ha he in the Facebook, so it was deleted later on. The propaganda aspect is not working. If you're going to ask me that, on ground, I don't see any reaction per se. There's not a big reaction to this. Only Twitter में कौन Bengali है हम बोल रहे हैं. The Bengalis on Twitter are from Gujarat and Bangalore and Hyderabad and Bombay. They are sitting there and abusing the BJP. But most of them either have permanent jobs in Calcutta, which are like either they're in higher education or some government post or some like really secure job, or which are still there. Some sections still have it. or they are in Bangalore and abusing BJP. So it doesn't make too much of a difference on the ground. This Bangladesh issue, the Bangladeshi thing, like the language issue, that's what I'm talking about. Now, whether Bangladeshi khadao, that whole thing, whether that is important or not, I can tell you that some formerly leftist channels on YouTube, they are now, and these are channels with over 1 million subscribers. I'm 2 or 3 I follow regularly. They all have like all of the. I actually go to the comments. I don't actually watch the videos much. I go to the comments for the reactions, because these channels, the primary subscribers are leftist. Okay, but most of them want Rashtrapati Shashan 356. They want some kind of fair election. They want Bangladeshis out. That thing is there. I got from the comments. I follow the leftist channels on purpose, because BJP channel, if you follow Arambag TV, of course, most comments are going to be pro BJP. But I deliberately follow the leftist channels for this. And there I'm seeing that, Twitter is not the primary social space for Bengalis. It's still YouTube. And it's also Facebook, but mostly YouTube these days.
Yeah.
Because YouTube has basically replaced the TV. So a lot of boomers, lot of even uncle aunties, lot of even like our age, I think 30 to 40, that age group, a lot of these like major Hindus, they are all of them are on YouTube. So YouTube comment section on leftist channels will be very, very good for you to understand where the thing is going.
Now, some people have been saying that. Wait, I forgot my question. I'll just come back to it a little later. I have a very important question to ask. Now, the last topic was now Rahul Gandhi also giving proof of election rigging. What did you make of that? And is that how they themselves stole the elections from West Bengal in 2024?
Rahul Gandhi can talk about
Excuse me.
because
Please let me interrupt you. I was about to ask you this very question from this viewer only. I was about to bring in the Assam CM in the context of the Bangla versus Bangladeshi debate. Do you think that was the right thing to do? Him giving statements which were very, 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 very obviously going to be used against BJP in West Bengal. Is he not an astute politician enough to know that he should have avoided that?
Whether he is on the BJP side, I don't know. Number one. Number two is there is certainly there is anti-Bengali sentiment that works in Assam. I won't deny it. Okay. Having said that, if he did say that, but I did not see a lot of protests anywhere. That's the whole point. Like ideally, if this was such a big issue, it would have like stopped Kolkata buses and stuff. Nobody actually spoke. Even Mamata Banerjee did not directly attack him. Like, very strange. Like, she attacks Amit Shah and Suvendu Adhikari all the time.
I don't think there would be any Bangladeshi versus Bangla hulabaloo in the first place if Himanto had not given that statement to begin with.
No. That would have been there. That would have always been there because of the SIR thing and stuff like that. But even when he said that, what I'm saying is, even Mamata Banerjee and the TMC did not protest against it. That's weird. Like, it's like it's like people have not heard it. It's like that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Now, the problem with that is that now it's fishy territory. Then we can't talk about it.
Yes.
So, Rahul Gandhi knows how Trinamool won in 2024, apparently. What do you think? He knows how rigging is done.
I don't think they'll dig too much into this. They'll have to say some stuff like the SIR in Bihar will negatively affect the leftist alliance there, Congress, RJD, and whatever parties they have. There are hundreds of parties in Bihar. I don't even know most of them, but Congress, RJD, and these parties. Having said that, Rahul Gandhi has been alleging this for a while. Ye to EVM hack hua, same stuff. But that's the whole point. If Modi can get to 240 seats, then how did they rig? Like, that's the whole point. Like, if by losing that many seats, I think it's difficult for people to actually. I've actually seen this weird thing outside of West Bengal, except Bihar. Maybe in Bihar people will understand this, but when I've spoken to people in Maharashtra, they seem shocked by the kind of stuff that can happen. Like if I tell them that booth capture hua, ye hua, there are
50 लोग मर
200
गए
murdered.
इलेक्शन की वजह से. Yeah.
They're like, they look at me like I've told them some weird thing out of this world. Okay, so anyway, that's what Western style capitalism does to people. They can't be as violent as you think. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay then. Thanks a lot, Academic Man, for joining the podcast. We will end with one last question though. What do you think is going to happen in 2026?
I want some things to happen, and I think they're on track again. But again, if I say it will happen, then and it doesn't happen, then I don't know. So anyway, with all disclaimers, I am not a Jyotish. I am nobody. But what I can tell you all is, it seems BJP is serious. Number one. Number two is, the TMC is having an anti-incumbency trip that in recent memory nobody can remember. Like even Jyoti Basu, Buddha Babu, when they went out of power, they were not close to this level of anti-incumbency. Like, I have asked some political scientists, some people who actually follow West Bengal situation very closely, and they were like, voter sentiment is totally against TMC. Okay. Again, like people say, oh, then how can they keep winning? Because even if Muslims abuse the TMC, they ultimately vote for TMC. Okay. So it doesn't matter. Like, that's where you get 37% of the vote anyway. 35, 37, whatever. But what does matter is sometimes you don't even need vote shares. So a lot of people are debating vote shares here. So I'll give you a very interesting fact. In Madhya Pradesh, in the last Vidhan Sabha election, when Shivraj Singh Chauhan lost, he actually had a higher vote share than Congress. But BJP did not have the seat share that Congress got. Congress got more seats than BJP. So it doesn't necessarily always boil down to vote share. It depends on targeting seats. And like I've been saying, even if BJP gets 120 plus seats, then the BJP, that's a win for BJP. So
what about
let's president's rule?
Yeah.
I believe that it would be the fastest way for the BJP to come to power. Because
would
don't
it be the
worry
moral
about
way to come to power?
Moral kon hai bhai? I mean, what happened to Buddhadev Bhattacharya? Was that moral? Guy just wanted to give everyone jobs. Got destroyed by his own party members and urban Naxals and everyone. So, there's nothing is moral. In a state where 200 people get killed in an election, there's no morality left. It's all power struggle, naked power struggle.
Since you brought up Buddhadev Bhattacharya, Rabindra Sangeet has a background for crime thrillers. What Anurag Kashyap you think?
It's like one of those art movies, like where people are dying. Like you have like, you remember that movie Kingsman? I love that scene where in the church, Colin Firth, he just takes out his weapons and kills like 200 people, and they're playing Leonard Skinner's that song. Freebird. They're playing Freebird, and he's just killing 10 minutes a random just killing. So that's what imagine Rabindra Sangeet, but Panchayat election. That's the same thing.
Now, since you brought up Buddhadev Bhattacharya, I'll have to point out to you that the anti-incumbency today might be more than it was against Jyoti Basu and Buddhadev Bhattacharya in 2011 and 2006 even. Not 6 really, 11 and 9.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
98,
and 2001.
That
1999 and then 2011.
When Mamta said, never.
Yeah, the anti-incumbency is the same, but back then there were two things to offset that. Jyoti Basu's way of offsetting the anti-incumbency was Buddhadev Bhattacharya, and Buddhadev Bhattacharya could not offset it, of course, but people at least had someone to look towards instead of when they looked away from CPIM. There was one new party with one random woman who is not really liked and gets beaten up every now and then by CPIM's policemen, but has all the academics and intellectuals of the world on her side. We are not in that situation today. In anti-incumbency might be the same way, but who to vote for? That's not where West Bengal is today. The place it was in 2010.
See, the very interesting development after 2007, 2011 is Kaushik Sen and people like him don't matter. This is the thing. Kaushik Sen, Aparna Sen did matter in 2007. Thanks to Mamata Banerjee, and I totally thank her for this. She has destroyed the Bhadralok. She has taken the Bhadralok and just demolished him. Okay. Our way of life, the way we talk, the stuff we talk about, the movies and series we watch, all that stuff is down the drain now. You have Lollipop Lagelu light in Bengal. Okay. You have Zindagi Jhandwa Fir Bhi Ghamandwa in West Bengal right now. You have Londia Nach, you have Anubroto Mondol, you have Sheikh Shahjahan. You have Kawalis. You have in Sheikh Shahjahan, when he used to have meetings, there were guys who took out the harmonium and wrote songs for him like Shahjahan Bhai, Tomar Moto Kyun Nahi, that kind of thing. Ekdam, yeah. So we've in the last 10 years, we have lost Rabindranath, Bankim, everyone, Swami Vivekananda, everyone. Okay. All we have left is now Pawan Singh ka Bengali version, like Pawan Singh's Bangla version, basically. That's all that's left. Why do you think Pawan Singh was attacked? Actually, strangely, I have heard people listen to Pawan Singh's song more than Robindra Sangeet at this point. Okay.
Bhojpuri industry does consciously cater to Biharis living in Bengal, those kinds of audiences as well, which is why they wrote a famous poverty and socialist song dedicating it to Bengalis who vote for Trinamool Congress. The lyrics says, "Noon roti khayenge, zindagi sang bitayenge." Theek hai. And people are happy with noon roti. Therefore,
you either have that now. When somebody's saying that West is turning into Bihar, okay, you either have that or you have Jamaat-approved songs like. You have Sheikh Shahjahan Bhai, Tomar Moto Kyun Nahi, that kind of thing. Okay, Shirai Shirai Rokto, Bhai Janai Rokto, that kind of thing. So you don't have any Rabindric culture left, like the culture of the Brahmo Samaj, what you and I, even we grew up seeing, that is dead. That Bengal is dead, over, khatam.
That will never come back. That will never be back. That's what a lot of people don't get.
You need tremendous financial power among the Bhadralok class, and when I say tremendous, I mean people like Dwarkanath Thakur and all who bought.
It has to be 2-3 generations of. It has to be 2-3 generations of wealth, business wealth.
Yes, and not just that. I'll tell you how rich Dwarkanath Thakur was. Like, and this was after, like, during Rabindranath Thakur time, they actually lost a lot of the money, right? So Rabindranath Thakur wanted to go to. He didn't want to, like, he was sent to a prep school in Brighton Beach, okay, in England. And they bought a whole ass bungalow for him there. Like Brighton Beach, jaunga main, ghar nahi aunga main. So Rabindranath Tagore, because they wanted to send him to prep school, they bought a land in England and said that, bhai, tum yahan jao padhai karo. Ja Rabindranath ji le apni zindagi. So that's the kind of people, money Bengalis had at that time. So then you can sing Maya Bono Biharini Horini and get away with it in whatever. But let's face it, the Pawan Singhs have money right now and Pawan Singhs will dominate. Pawan Singh or Shahjahan Sheikh, take your pick. But either way, we don't, like, the Bengali Bhadralok class does not have money left. So nobody gives a shit about us.
Yeah. Just hold on, okay? I'm opening something on the screen on which I want you to comment. And I have something I want you to comment on in the
I thought you were
live
playing
chat
to
as well.
Rabindranath's school, the way you were looking at the...
By the way, here to learn, we actually addressed this question, okay? We addressed this when you were gone and then you immediately returned when we were ending the answer, okay? So rewind it bit. I have something to ask you here. Yeah, this is one important thing as well. People in Bengal can't question to leader. Even in Bihar, people are asking questions to leaders today. Today only I saw in a video. What do you think
People
about
in
this?
Bengal can't question
Suvendu
the
Adhikari
leader
should
in
not
Bihar.
call Rohingya and
Hey,
Bangladeshi to.
somebody wrote, Shontu Mete, he wrote, West Bengal will be Bihar if Bengalis start having TFR 3.
I can't see the
भाई
comment as of
TFR
now.
5 था एक time पे. Bengali families had 5 children, 9 children. 2 generations ago, it wasn't very difficult to imagine. हम तो हमारे तो करते গিয়ে শেষ হয়ে গেছে তখন রবীন্দ্রনাথ টেগোর had so many kids यार. Who said Bengal will be Bihar if you have high TFR? I never understood this logic. This is like I can't have a girlfriend, so because if I have a girlfriend, I'll be a bad boy. It's like that. Okay.
No, there's a
It's like
limit
that.
to how much backdated questions we can answer Shontu
Yeah.
Mete, unfortunately. But this is old school Malthusian bullshit that we don't believe in. Now,
Yeah,
an
exactly.
audience member of us who is very respectful of us, with whom we have a great vibe, even if they start to ask, let's say, why do you think dogs have four legs? Why should they have 4 legs? Isn't it best that they get back to a time when dogs had 2 legs, but they never had 2 legs? So we are not going to able to be let's say entertaining those kinds of questions.
Yeah, but this is
Now
like
this is Kolkata.
dumb shit, yeah.
This
Disneyland.
is right beside Shonagachi, the Disneyland for BBKs.
Yeah. And this is what
The
we had
Disneyland of
Gothic
lust.
castles. We had Gothic castles, bro. We had
The
like
Disneyland for lust, Gothic castles, right fucking beside Shonagachi.
all you gotta do is walk around the Esplanade area and you will still see some buildings. Like if you go to Banksall Court and you will see that right in front of the Banksall Court, you will find some buildings that are like really old. If you go to Calcutta Stock Exchange, which used to exist by the way, you will see that these are all very old buildings, beautiful buildings, okay? And you will cry. You will cry from the inside. Your heart will be broken into 1,000 pieces. So just
This
don't do
album
this.
itself has
I know.
absolutely pissed me the fuck off, because this album featured a lot of buildings and pictures I had never seen. The digital remastering of these pictures has been absolutely exceptional, and this we watch those 4K drone videos of Scotland, Ireland, Norway and stuff, and I am a huge fan of those videos, mainly because of the music that's there in those videos. But then I look at them as something beautiful, and unfortunately which don't exist in my country. I hope I'll be able to visit them someday, etc. And then I find this album, and this tells me your fucking own city was like that just 100 years back, and now you don't have anything, and in the near future you are not about to have any fucking thing that's remotely nice in your city. And that's the realization I'm supposed to live with. And this goddamn building looks like a
I am, you know me,
what,
right?
I think,
I am. You know that I am against government intervention in anything, right? But the one
Yeah.
thing that is my like guilty pleasure, despite being mostly libertarian, is ki if BJP comes to power, I will petition to somebody like Shapon Das Gupta and a few of the educated people like Shomik Babu and all to save some of these buildings. I know that it's a very like stupid dream that I have, but if TMC stays, these buildings are gone forever. Like abhi jo jitna bhi टूटा फूटा जो है वो भी चला जाएगा. They'll all be promoted. Okay, but I'll
BJP
just
is going to
like
increase BJP is going to increase Lokkir Bhandar, which already costs 12,000 crores a month. So Shapon Das Gupta is not going to be able to save anything
see,
more.
Screw the logistics. I don't give a damn about the logistics. My point is that if anything remains of what we call Bengali culture in Calcutta, it is these things. Okay, and
which are apparently British.
No, dekho, we had we can think of it as a hybrid version of modernity, right? Western style capitalism that actually helped us promote our own culture at one time, right? And this city produced Aurobindo, this city
Yes.
produced Swami Vivekananda, this city produced Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, this city produced Rabindranath Tagore, this city produced so many people, right? Even Chandranath Bosu and so many people, right? Or they came here, they used to come here, right? So my point is, this city nurtured Hindutva as well. So if you and that all happened because there was Western style capitalism which was there to back up all these things, right? So forget all that. My point is, that is my one guilty pleasure कि तुम education privatize कर दो, hospital privatize कर दो, सब privatize कर दो. ये कुछ buildings, maybe 100 or 200 buildings are left like this in Calcutta. Just preserve some of them. It's my one guilty pleasure. These have to be declared heritage monuments and taken over by the ASI. Otherwise, they'll be fucked. They'll be destroyed, and we'll have nothing left. Whatever little history we have, we'll have nothing left. Because we can't prevent the TFR collapse. We can't. But maybe something that, we existed, like a dinosaur fossils, right? These are our fossils.
Yeah.
The Bhadralok fossils are these.
This is
So,
the building now.
Yeah, they can renovate it. They can do so many things. There are still laborers I know who work on old buildings.
This
by
is
way,
the
in
castle.
Calcutta. Yeah. We
Two
should
towers
thank
in
our
that
lucky stars.
Disneyland-looking castle where.
We should thank our lucky stars that the thing
go on.
still exists. Like, we should thank our lucky stars that this still exists. Like, nobody promoted this and made, Bhaipo apartments here. So we should, whatever, feel lucky. But yes, these should be look at what happened with Swami Vivekananda's house. The Ramakrishna Mission took over it and they renovated it completely. And the older structure is still there. They got people from different parts of West Bengal who were experts in this kind of a thing, right? And they made them do it. They made them rebuild Swami Vivekananda's house. Yeah, this is all Western style capitalism. Babu Ramdulal De became rich. His house, the house of his sons, they're still there. Chatu Babu, Latu Babu.
There's a BJP poster in front of it, and that too in Hindi. What a juxtaposition. Brilliant. You can't make this up.
If they can save it. Yeah, right. My point is, if you Babu Ramdulal De, you know how he became rich. He used to trade salt with Americans. Okay. So many things. If you look at what Dwarkanath did, if you look at all of these people who are great Bengalis, they're all products of Western style capitalism. So, dekhte hain kya hota hai.
Look at this building. This is inside Kolkata. This goddamn White House looking building is in Kolkata, and this is just one of the many White Houses in Kolkata.
There is a book called Calcutta City of Palaces. You must read it. It's very sad and beautiful.
Now, I had never looked closely to different Kolkata buildings. I recently actually noticed what the YMCA building looks like in Esplanade. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Have you seen that building? Holy shit! It's blocked by the flyover in front of it. So.
Yeah.
Achha.
No, the YMCA, the LIC building, the CSC building. Actually, these are some of the better ones. Like, if you see some of the other ones, you'll just start crying. Bro, it's just so sad.
This is Esplanade, right?
This is probably Splendid. What's written there? Matthew's son. Yeah. It could be.
There were a lot of street names.
Bro. There's another thing that you get to see very rarely in Calcutta. That is the Gadi Baranda. That you see these tiny canopy type thing outside in front of the house. See where the carriage or the car would stop and you could get off, and that kind of small covering thing. That thing is also missing, but there are a few in North Calcutta. If you go around in a car or something, you can see.
Now, this is very common in front of, I think, Broadway and big theaters, buildings like that in New York, right?
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is this is Esplanade Row. Okay, the center of the East India Company. Yeah, this is Esplanade Row. So we guessed right. Let me just show you some of the pictures because I could not recognize. I don't know the names of some of these roads, and you might because you come from academia.
I'm,
This is
yeah.
1864's Kolkata. Look at this. 1864. So it's a
Oh,
road fully made up of soil essentially, and look at the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
expanse.
That's
These were just
yeah.
forests and I guess open fields, and that's where they made up this city, this town. And
The Viceroy went tiger hunting in Alipur. Alipur was
yeah,
like the the end of civilization per se.
right. Now, and the elite Bengalis, the Brahmin Boido caste elites, who were very much happy to work with the British, whether get jobs inside the British government or study in their in their institutions and stuff. I think the main reason that they lost their shit was when they realized that okay, we like these people for for the sole reason that they taught us so many ways to think, liberal arts, critical thinking, mathematics that's applicable in the modern world, and then they taught us human rights and liberalism and stuff, but they are not following any of that with our own people. That's I think what made them snap, because otherwise everyone was happy to go along with it. People like Surendranath Banerjee were happy until the 20s, I think 2030s. He says anyone who
Yeah,
asks
yeah.
for independence should be put in an asylum. Then many other people. That's where British really screwed up. Netizen is asking, are these
No,
real photos or paintings? They are 100% real photos, digitally remastered, but very, very well
yeah.
done. That's why they look so beautiful. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the Bhadralok class actually, strangely, even when they did, they did politics, right? The Bhadralok class wasn't as political as you would think. They became political in the 20th century.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in the
They were
19th century, the Bhadralok class
pure
was
capitalists.
essentially clerks. Yeah,
Yeah,
capitalist and or clerk. Okay, so
yeah, yeah,
both. So what happened was in the 20th century, when a large section of them, number one, they saw the racial thing, and they obviously some of them got pissed racial stuff and ye to tha hi. But the other thing that they did was very interesting. They did not join the Gandhian movements. The Gandhian mass movements that took over most of the most of the country, that did not much work in Bengal. Like there were Gandhians and stuff, but they weren't like the mass movement thing wasn't so appealing to them. They were like revolutionary. Revolutionary mein, you will see most revolutionaries
yeah.
were Brahmins. Okay, even now they are. Like most of the
Yes.
Naxals, if you meet them, they are mostly Chakraborty, Chatterjee, Bhattacharya, Brahmi, Banerjee and all these people. So uh, that mass politics where you have to embrace like the kind of stuff Modi ji does, the kind of stuff Mamata Banerjee does, that did not appeal to them much. These guys were basically snobs, and I'm not against snobbery. That's the whole point. Like you can
Exactly.
be a
We are
snob, but
snobs.
you have to back
Yeah,
it up with money. You have to back it up with money.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
you have, by trying to be a snob, to maintain that snobbery, you created socialism, and then that screwed you up. That is the whole point. Like,
That's
that is my one
that's
house
snobbery.
against art.
That snobbery was based on master morality. Today's snobbery is based on slave morality. Now Rishabh has
Exactly.
made a very, very apt comment here, which I was about to bring up anyway. Thanks for reminding me unknowingly, Rishabh. He says this image gave me another vector for capitalism. Mumbai is able to preserve its colonial areas very well, so do capitalism if you want to preserve your heritage, otherwise it will crumble.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mumbai's
Right.
buildings are so well preserved, and I came to realize it only recently because I recently rewatched Taxi Number 911 and Bluffmaster, which are two of my
Yes,
favorite movies from
yes,
Bollywood ever.
yes,
Both of which came out in
yes,
2005, 2006, like that. Both were
yes.
either produced or directed by
Post,
Ramesh Sippy and vice
post,
versa.
please, yeah, yeah, yeah. Post
And
liberalization culture
yeah, yeah,
boom
and
in
and I
Mumbai.
think Ramesh Sippy is the Anjan Datto of Mumbai, because that's how radical their ways of
Yeah, yeah,
showing
yeah.
a
They
movie
both
are.
love their respective cities. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
And
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 Conk Connection
and
comes
they
out
were
in
very well made
2006.
because I saw them. I saw
Hmm.
them. I saw the same movies, the exact same movies 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh, acha. So you know what I'm talking about. Great.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
many film critics say this about many movies, but they say it just because it sounds cool. It's not really the case in most movies, which is that the location, the venue for the story itself becomes a character. Like the biggest example
Yes.
would be the savannah grasslands becoming a character in Lion King. When does a place become a character in a movie? When the things, the geography, the sheer happenings, the environment of the place goes on contributing significantly to the plot of the story. That's when the place is a character, and that is absolutely the case with Bluffmaster and Taxi Number 911. And the way they have shown Mumbai, the parts of Mumbai they have shown, I have never seen in any other film. It looks so beautiful. It's a complete different vibe. But what I was very shocked to find out and realize from those two movies, which were made pretty much back to back, is that uh, the way the highways look, the way a crowded street looks, the way a posh hotel looks, the way the people who behave the way they do in a posh hotel, or even the employers, laborers, everything in those two movies looks like Kolkata of today. I realize that Kolkata is absolutely exactly 25 years behind the rest of the country. You watch any late 90s kid or Gen Z guys watch this old movie called Taxi Number 911 and Bluffmaster to pretty much one of the best. But for both these movies, for the first half an hour you will think, why the fuck did I recommend you these two movies? But they're absolute masterpieces. But you'll realize they both of them look exactly like Kolkata of today, 25
Yes.
years back.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Sociologist. Were you trying to add something?
Yes,
We will just go
sociologist
through the pictures.
कोई और है. हम तो academic
Okay.
man है. Mysterious sociologist.
Thank you for contributing 100 rupees to our state's GDP Top 10 Prime TV. Question for Academic Man: would you be interested to join a libertarian new libertarian party which is coming to Kolkata?
ये party see, it has started.
Which one do
with,
you
I
mean?
think,
Do you mean another new libertarian party, by the way, Top 10 Prime TV, or do you mean the one run by Tushar and Ajay? Let's assume they're talking about Tushar and Ajay's party. In that case,
No, I
what?
don't
And
think they're
if it's a
talking
different
about
party, in that case, what?
तुषार and Ajay, I see join का कोई बात नहीं है. ये तो बीजेपी या टीएमसी ने या कि वो I'll go and they'll put a mala on my head and on my neck and they'll join. It's not going to be any of that. But I think of these movements as very important ideas, promoting very important ideas. But essentially, I personally support the cause of libertarianism. Now, if you ask me whether I'll join and all, that is that won't matter, because none of the parties that you just mentioned will be able to contest elections in any. I don't think even for the next 5 years. So it won't matter whether we join it or not. But why then? Why should they exist? Because among the educated people who are now seeing the problems of a Babudam, who are seeing the problems of socialism, they need to, there needs to be a reform of the way we talk about economy, the economy. That is why these parties are absolutely essential. I don't think they think of them more as interest group. But if you say libertarian interest group, then nobody cares. But if you say libertarian party, some people care. So I think let's call it that. Yeah.
Sorry, Rishabh. Rishabh asked if this is the Shohid Minar or not. That's not the Shohid Minar, I think. This is Chourongi Government House on the left. Is the place around Shohid Minar called Chourongi? Where is Chourongi?
Yes. You know why it's called Chourongi?
So this is Shohid Minar.
Yes.
So this is Shohid Minar.
Yeah. Earlier it was, I think, called Holwell Monument.
Right.
You know why that area is called Chourongi?
No.
That area used to have a lot of dacoits at one time. A lot of trees and dacoits. Okay.
Choro ke Angikar.
No. There was a Sadhu Baba, যার নাম ছিল something to do with Chourongi, and he used to save people from the dacoits. Okay, he used to be like He used to basically come with his weapons and attack the dacoits when they attack people. So that's how
Were
that area is named after him.
Why were they into dacoity? Were they inspired from Western style capitalism? Did their parents raise them to be transgenders?
I doubt what those dacoits did can be done. Anyway, my point is
But
this thing.
yeah, go on.
The dacoits used to pray to Ma Kali before coming, and I'm not saying anything that I'm saying that it's not the thuggis, the dacoits. They were heavily penalized. When there was a rule of law, and they were heavily penalized by the British government, but they were not necessarily believers in Western modernity. They were not.
No,
Right?
but since
So
Hinduism
that
teaches us non-violence and to not steal, stealing is only taught by Western style capitalism. So I wonder, why do we have dacoits in the first place? Now this is the town
that's
hall, the Kolkata town
yeah.
hall.
That still exists, by the way. The town hall still exists, and there's a nice history show inside if you can catch it anytime. Before town hall is promoted.
Oh,
You should go for it one day.
yeah.
ये तो पूरा
this is
पूरा
Calcutta, right?
Downton Abbey, Gilded Age, ये सब दिखा रहा है.
Yes, we had it here in our city and in multiple cities. But
Yep.
and Eden Gardens does not exist back then, but this is so awesome. What is this? Okay, I am showing my personal pictures now. Lol. There are many more awesome pictures to check out. Wait, I'll show you.
No, I know all this because if you read Calcutta City of Palaces, you will then cry if this is hurting you. Like Vivek Agnihotri बोलता है ना, if Kashmir Files what saddened you, then Bengal Files will destroy you. Then if you read Calcutta City of Palaces and you know how Dwarkanath Tagore was a great industrialist of the time, you will be destroyed. You will be in depression for the next 2 months.
Yeah. Now this is Strand Road.
This is in North Calcutta. These were something else, bro. एक मत करो हमारे
see,
साथ.
this is Esplanade, right? Yeah, this is Esplanade.
Yeah. Such a big road only is there in Esplanade. There's no other
right
as big a road.
But this is
Even
Sutter Street.
Interestingly, there were Black Town and there were White Town. Like there were the Black Town was where majority of Bengalis resided. That is more like Hinji. Like that is more where the British resided towards like the Esplanade area and of areas around it and near Park Street and all. Those areas were more organized. Of course, that is given.
Yeah,
like,
obviously.
that part like
That
can't
is
expect social justice.
lower town and upper town of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa as well.
Yeah. And if you go to some of the palaces that are still there in North Calcutta, you will see that what happened was when they built the palaces. So if you go to Raja Namakrishna house, they won't let you in, but you can take permission and go in for research or whatever. Then you will see that the area around his house was full of small basti type areas because the servants who work for these guys, they used to build their houses around those areas. Okay, but in a very unplanned manner.
Right, that's where the orphan Anglo-Indians were lived to rot in their sadness and suffering alone. The Anglo-Indian kids who were simply byproducts of society. British people had sex with random Indians and left them to die.
Calcutta was so beautiful that Lee Kuan Yew had commented that he wants to make Singapore into Calcutta. So that was the level of beauty Calcutta had.
This is Kid Street, KYD. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. These are all near. Yeah. This is all central
Park
Calcutta
Street.
actually. Near, yeah.
I can't stand Central Calcutta, and now I'm fawning over Central Calcutta. That's how far we have fallen. I would rather go to Bihar than Central Calcutta. Where is this? This is Theatre Road, Calcutta.
Kid
Where
Street
is
has
Theatre
been
Road?
renamed as Dr. Kid Street has been renamed as Dr. Muhammad Ishaq Road, Kolkata.
Wow, Modi ji, wow. Where is Theatre Road?
Theatre Road is near that Rawdon Street area.
Where is that?
That
You see,
is
I'm not BBK.
right.
This is
That is
BJK
right
geography
after.
and
That
mapping.
is. Have you seen the HSC Bose Road flyover, which Buddhababu built?
Right? Yeah.
It's near
Yeah.
that. And it used to be called
Uh,
Theatre
eh,
Road, if I'm not mistaken, because Dwarkanath Tagore opened the first Western style theatre in Calcutta near that area.
Western style. Oh shit. Now, which side
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
AJC? Which end of
The,
AJC?
towards the north, more towards the north of HSC.
Okay, I see.
That area is still quite posh. If you go to that Rawdon Street area, that Park Street area,
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
relatively nice.
Now, is this where we heard Jesai Deepak and Nandana Ranganathan's debate? This is the Bengal Club. Is this the same as Calcutta Club?
Possibly, yes. No, may not be, but they look similar. They look quite similar.
They look similar, yeah. What is Bengal Club then?
No, I think you went to Calcutta Club, right?
Yeah. What is Bengal
Calcutta
Club?
Club is again. Calcutta Club is also near that area. That is Bengal Club. Tolly Club is in Tollygunj, obviously. Not even in Tollygunj. Yeah, south basically. ये क्या था Calcutta Club, right? Calcutta Club, where is it? It's near that area only. It's near Park Street. Oh, it's near Park Street. It's actually a bit far from where you are talking about.
Oh, I see.
But not very far. Not very far. Okay.
I see. So, what's fascinating was that the original photographer, whom I've credited in every image, in the main album title. So that guy who has been doing these restorings and putting them up on Facebook, someone commented on this image uploaded by him on his profile that this image is from 1864. Okay, this is 1864 Bengal Club in Calcutta. Someone commented from USA, a white guy commented that he has pictures in his house that his grandfather came to play to Kolkata in this very building in Bengal Club as a violin player. An American orchestra was playing in Kolkata in the 1960s. Can you believe that?
No, you had
here,
the Trinkas and all these places, right? Like they had a lot of wealth at that time. Like you would have all kinds of jazz. You would have jazz and all this kind of music. So it's not impossible to imagine. It is now, but till 30 years ago, it wouldn't have been impossible for you to imagine.
Yeah, but an American quartet playing in
बहुत ये हो गया, बहुत reminiscence हो गया.
Oh, look at this. Oh. Look at this. I can you believe your eyes?
Yeah,
this is a Burmese pagoda in Kolkata.
This is still there in near the Esplanade area.
Yeah,
there is a
but not in this
park.
way.
No,
Yeah.
ये तो अभी मैंने पूरा खत्म हो गया.
Yes. Yeah. If you, I was there with a girlfriend of mine years back, and we were hounded out by not transgenders, transsexuals. But we did pay them, and they blessed us for a long relationship, which ended a year later. This is Calcutta High Court, and you can see the way the Ganga. There's a small gate.
Don't do this to me, bro.
Yeah, it's called Eden Garden. And the East Bengal Club, Mohnbagan Club grounds, White Border, all of them are here, right? And I think Howrah Union, all of their grounds are here in these fields.
Have you noticed how there are no Bengali players in East Bengal and Mohnbagan?
Oh,
There are
and this
no
is in
Bengali
Alipur.
football players. Yeah, this is probably
Yeah, yeah.
in Alipur.
I think this is Alipur. Can you believe it? And a personal pond and a cute little palace.
No, I told you, right?
Someone's
The
just.
Viceroy used to go tiger hunting in Alipur, so that's not like in the 19th century.
Do you
No,
think?
but
Uh, do you think debauchery is bad for wealth management in a family?
I believe so.
Was that the reason all of these BBK families went to hell because all of them were debauchery in chiefs? Was that a moral
Perhaps
punishment of some sort for them?
because if you look at the Protestant capitalist,
Hmm.
which Weber shows, that the Protestant capitalists actually lead a very ascetic type of lifestyle, like जो रतन टाटा type का lifestyle है.
I see.
Like have fruits, don't have a lot of food, don't have a lot of girlfriends, that kind of thing. But
Right.
in Calcutta, that did not happen. Actually, a lot of them had girlfriends, baijis, this, that, whatever crap. Like they got the money suddenly, and then they had the majal of the zamindars. They wanted to copy the zamindars, and the zamindars always did. The feudal class was always like this. So in a curious mix, if you read Shumanta Banerjee's From the Parlor to the Streets on Calcutta's history, you will know how the Babus were, they were all having Madira with the British officers, and then they were watching Baiji Nach, and then they were going to Shonagachi and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, and beef and having beef.
and having beef and stuff and whatnot. And this is the difference between let's say somebody like Mark Zuckerberg, right, or somebody like that, and these guys, right? They have a they don't pay attention to the business anymore. Now compare that with the Marwaris and Gujaratis who get married young. They shun. I at least in front of your face they will not have alcohol and meat and all that, and they will have a relatively ascetic lifestyle, right? They won't have 10 girlfriends and stuff. They might occasionally have an affair or whatever, but it's not the main thing, right? Then you will see that the Bengali Babus and the Bhadraloks, their mimicry of the Zamindari class was their downfall, essentially.
And if curses and tuktak tantra things are in fact real, so then it would make sense why these people's lineages went to hell. Although it can be argued they didn't really go to hell because their descendants are all happy living lives in Europe and USA.
No,
But
but wealth ke liye, this is a bad thing. Like to manage your wealth, reinvest it in your business, and kind of see it grow manifold. That thing did not happen much.
have you observed the caste dynamics of Bong connection? Shayan Munshi asks his Sen surname, Sengupta or Sen, they were Sen, right? তো ইয়া সেন বাড়ির ছেলেরা ব্যবসা করে না, করলে জাত যায়।
Ha ha ha.
তো someone from a
Exactly.
sane family cannot do business and then gets pissed off in the end with Shayan Munshi for suggesting that you're suggesting your uncle to do business. Hotel chalabo, hotel. Incredible. So you see, they could not do business, they could not be clerks, and then they hate Marwaris, then Marwari owns the office. So it's all a fuck up, and then he sells the house and lives in a flat. How will we have beautiful buildings?
No, precisely. The Bhadraloks idols, if you look at it, were zamindars, like I kept telling you, and they weren't when they were rich. When they became poorer, they started to kind of become these the clerk style people, the clerks, but their food and their expenditures, they were on basically creeping up the consumption patterns of the earlier generation. So you spend a lot of money on eating outside and buying expensive Western stuff and all that stuff. So the dikhawa stuff is more among Bhadraloks, right? So either way, this is look at comparatively look at the Marwaris. How much do they spend on entertainment? How much do they spend on let's say mutton, chicken, and stuff like that, right?
No,
How
for
much
them
do
the
they
work
spend?
is entertainment.
Yes, that is the difference between them and the Orthodox.
Hmm.
So this is the problem. This is the biggest problem.
Uh,
Whereas compare them to the
let's
American
get into a bit of
capitalists,
yeah,
are
go on.
much more disciplined in that
Hmm.
sense.
Let's get into a bit of controversy here. Do you think Abhay is overstating this thing here? Because I'm not really aware of what was the reality, but since you are more well-read than me in these things and the depiction of Marwaris in movies and stuff and old Bengali literature, based on that, do you think Abhay is right or overstating? Because his main claim is that Marwari businessmen of Kolkata for the last 100, 200 years have not been that big of debauches like the BBKs. Do you agree?
Yes,
Or have
perhaps
they been as well? Because we
that
have
is.
heard about
I would
some
say,
stuff against them every now and then.
there is a way to do debauchery as well. Let's get into that. Okay, so you can go to Jimli in Shonagachi and spend lakhs of rupees on Jimli,
Hmm.
or you can spend $500. So I presume that the Marwadis were doing the latter. Okay,
Okay.
and the Bengalis were doing the former. So
Hmm.
debauchery may be levels hai. Huh.
Hmm.
So he's writing, talking from personal experience. Uh,
Hmm.
so the point
No,
is that
personal experience can't be relevant
oh
because we are talking about 1900s and
no,
1800s
he
Kolkata.
wrote Marwari spend on weddings. Yeah, Bengalis also spend on weddings, but that's not the case. See, you have to understand. Debauchery may be, like I said, there are levels. There are costs to keeping up a certain lifestyle. Marwadis never really cared about having a very opulent lifestyle of dikhawa where you bought Western paintings and stuff. Like if you went to some of the old houses of Tagore and all, and many other people who mimic them, you will see that they will spend a lot on paintings and oil paintings, statues from Greece and Rome and stuff like that. Okay, marble, very beautiful flooring, nice aesthetic sense and stuff. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is that the Marwaris weren't really, trend. They were not trying to set the trend. Basically, they were a closed group and they remained that way for
I
majority
think
of this period.
I think the caste of Marwadis versus the caste of the Bengalis who were rich have also something to do with this difference. Because first of all, they were Vaishyas and they were Brahmins or slash Kulin Kaistas. On the other
Yeah.
hand, they were therefore they were always religious, and sleeping around debauchery would still be a gigantic transgression for them, even though they would do it because people do transgress. But for the BBKs it was almost quasi justified, right? Because after all, you are a Kulin anyway, and in the later years, after all, it's significant, and it's so cool that you get out of stereotypical relationships and have 50 girlfriends. For both those eras they had justifications, but the Marwadis never had a justification for those transgressions,
Yes,
and therefore
yes,
it
yes.
got
And
discouraged in their families, I think.
you must watch this movie called Jalsagor by Satyajit Ray,
Hmm.
where an old zamindar loses his entire whatever little wealth is left. He has very little left.
Right.
He's a feudal lord. He's an upper caste feudal lord.
Hmm.
और उसका जो भी थोड़ा बहुत बाकी है, he spends it on some baiji from Lucknow,
Hmm.
and then he just
Hmm.
dies. Okay, so
Hmm.
if you think about it, this culture you would find in Rajasthan among the Rajputs, but not among the Marwadis.
Hmm.
Okay,
And what is
here's the
common
difference.
among the Bengalis and the Rajasthanis? Both of them are new to this game. The Marwadis are not.
No. So this is what I'm trying to say. So the Rajputs were a landed feudal elite more. Okay, the Marwadis are
And
not a
tribal.
landed.
Yeah.
Yes, but tribal छोड़ दो, वो तो कब का थे. Now they have Sanskritized, they have become upper caste Kshatriyas,
Yeah.
and now they all
Yeah.
landowning and they have these big palaces and they will have nice baiji and all that and whatever. Now if you look at the Marwadis who came, the Marwadis are actually an older business class. may have land investments, but they are not feudal lords per se. Their thing is
Yes.
land hai, but I will do business. I will invest in another business. I will invest in another business. Okay. I will invest in movable gold. Okay, what Abhay and
They
Nisha were
never.
saying.
They were always Vaishyas to begin with, and they were happy being Vaishyas, and they
Yes,
remained Vaishyas. This is
yes.
what
But the
LLC
Banya class
Private
of
Limited is supposed to be.
the Banya class of Calcutta actually could not written this. The Banyas, the Boniks of Calcutta, the Suvarna Boniks, the Gondo Boniks, and these people. Well, some of them are still they're old. Like if you look at the Banyas, then they are still relatively less debauched than their upper caste counterparts. But even if you see Ramdural Dey, okay, Ramdural Dey's sons did nothing all day. They just spent their money on Baijis. Okay. So क्या हुआ कि कैलकाटा का जो dominant caste था, they mimicked those guys, which were the Brahman Bodhi Kaistos or Pirali Brahmins like Dwarkanath and all who got money and he wanted to be a zamindar type. He was called Prince Dwarkanath. So their idols were crappy essentially.
This
Okay,
reminds
so
me of
therefore
that character in Bhuter Bhovishwat who promised marriage to Swastika Mukherjee and then made her commit suicide. So Kulangar Shantan who যে এখন বায়োস্কোপে টাকা ঢেলেছে, invests in movies
yes,
and can't run the family business, that kind of a guy.
exactly. And that was the story if you think about it. Like there were these like Babu's sons who would invest in these ventures which were like bioscope and all, which weren't so profitable back then, okay, which were just starting
And parallelly they were big time gamblers. মেয়ে ছেলে মদ জুয়া সারাক্ষণ, all that's going on anyway.
like, exactly. So in that sense they weren't like the Marwadis won out because of that. Like they had the discipline, the networks, the structure, and even like I said, even if they went for debauchery, they would go for the cheaper available options than the high class Baijis and all that. So so that lifestyle that needs a maintenance, that a high maintenance cost. Marwadi lifestyle does not have a very high maintenance cost.
Yeah.
So they did that. Occasionally,
Now,
of course, some of them would fuck up, but majority of them didn't.
I think Marwadis spent the same as the I think per capita the same as the BBKs of those years, but I think they spent on the wrong things in the end, because the Marwadis will donate as much to dharmic causes as much they will to prostitutes. So in the end, it's just good behavior versus bad behavior. Now look at this White House looking building again in the middle of our old downtown Kolkata Abbey. Yeah, go on.
No,
What you were going
so
to add?
if you apart from that, the Calcutta people, the Calcutta Bengali, businessmen and all, the business class, they were their sons were also kind of useless. Like if you think about it, most of them weren't businessmen.
Yeah.
Okay. Most of them didn't go into businesses. Most of them didn't like expand the empire. And there was, I think, a stock market crash in 1868 or something. And after that, they stopped investing in everything. They just bought land, and land is a very bad investment if you can't, go there and acquire your rents, right? So, for example, in the Tagore family, only Rabindranath could get rents. Like he would go around taking rents from people. But ये जो rental income वाला story है ना, that means you are done. Means you will no longer grow as an elite, right?
Yeah.
But
and if you are not growing,
so
you are going backwards in a world of inflation.
yeah, if you don't grow, you die. It's as simple as that. And वो Bengali Bhadraloks का क्या हुआ? Many of them used to be landed class, but in the 19th century, many of them sold their village lands and came to Calcutta, and then they stopped being landowners.
Yeah.
So that also kind of created this landless losers kind of a thing. Like you will notice that even now Muslims they try to buy lands, okay, but Bengali Hindus upper caste don't. Like they are far away from investing in land as possible. Chota se chota, like they started off with big houses, then now they live in 1 BHKs. Most people. I once saw this whole ass family, like father, mother, daughter, one big dog. No, I think 2 big dogs, all living in 1 BHK. I was like, wow, This is the, be all end all
And
of
that
Bengali.
that is the story of Bong Connection in the end. As if there was
Yes.
a sequel of Bong Connection, in the true sense, there wasn't. There was a fake sequel. But so that man who now is giving up his ancestral home and is going to live in a
Yeah.
flat in Rajarhat New Town, allegedly. That's where he said he wanted to go. What's his life then? His son, who was already beating up his wife, will maybe give birth to a son. By the time they are in school or college, they are maybe, let's say 2006. Let's imagine the story of Bong Connection is real. Okay, so in 2006, a guy who beats up his wife and is a debauch, is a drunk who isn't really doing any work, and his father is leaving the entire ancestral building and going out and going to live in a flat in Rajarhat New Town. So that guy's son now goes up and leaves for Bangalore. That debaucher's son, obviously. What else is there? And
No,
if you had now, this building is also in Alipur. This house belongs to a female lawyer of the British Raj. Okay, Mrs. Henry Cooper Egger. This is her house in Alipur. That's her sitting in a small boat, and British people helping her swim about, row the boat in her own pond. And there's another British guy here, and there are two British. I forgot their breed. It's a very very famous breed. Two innocent puppies looking at her, worrying about her drowning in her own pond, in front of this beautiful building. And I think it's behind this building in Kolkata, in our New Alipur.
अरे तुम
This is
इतना भी
random house.
मतलब दुखी मत हो. These buildings,
And this
some
is
of them
this is
will. This is Lal.
this is
Laldi,
Srirampur Danish settlement.
Oh, acha, acha, acha.
This is
Srirampur.
Srirampur Danish settlement
Srirampur
taken over by
apparently still
British.
has some of the buildings and stuff. Srirampur apparently
does,
has a
yeah.
lot of old buildings too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strangely, I've
And
never been there.
see, apparently a river in the middle of Kolkata, sort of a canal that formed naturally in the middle of Maidan, right? That's how it was. It was filled up later.
No. This is probably Creek. I don't know if this is Creek Row, but there's a place called Creek Row, and that was a creek. That was a small creek in the middle of Kolkata. Okay. Yes, sub. If you go into the
in the
history
middle of
roads,
Maidan.
No. This is not Maidan. This is near the Shialda area.
So where is St. Paul's Cathedral?
Calcutta had many wetlands and rivers around it. Like the Salt Lake area was basically rivers and wetlands.
No, but this is St. Paul's Cathedral, right?
Or maybe that was just bad fly. I don't know the story of this. But ho sakta hai that is St. Paul's Cathedral. Maybe.
Yeah, they are saying it's St. Paul's Cathedral and that's Bishop's Palace right beside.
Oh, achha. Then it could have been something like that, yeah. But that's near the Ganga anyway. Maybe it's taken a bit like from a tributary of the Ganga or something like.
Yeah, it's probably a backwater sort of a thing. 20th century British United Service. Oh, Chodongi Road. Yeah. This is much later. These two we have seen countless. Oh my God! Look at Clive Street. Oh, look at this place.
मत देखो दुख होगा.
Eastern Railway Building. Okay, Academic Man. You know where the Eastern Railway Building is?
Today you're making us feel bad. Shira रक्त भाई.
That is the goal of this endeavor. That is the purpose we are serving.
अरे हमको bad feel करवाने से क्या होगा भाई? वो जब Bengalis who say no vote to BJP in Jadavpur, tell them. Without capitalism,
I think
you
we
are
are done
screwed.
with this collection. Yeah. Looking at this
Anyway.
picture, we will end our discussion. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for joining the discussion, guys. Thank you, Academic Man, for joining us. And someday we will have this Tagore Castle, not in our lifetimes, but maybe someday back in Kolkata. Thank you,
Bangalore.
Yeah, it's not Bangalore. You see, it was a ploy of British Western capitalists to call it Bangalore. It was actually called Bangalore in ancient India. It was full of Bengalis forever. So thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
যদি সবাই ফিরে যায় ওরে ওরে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি আলো না ধরে ওরে ওরে ও আলো না ধরে যদি ঝড় বাদলে আধার রাতে দুয়ার দেয় ঘরে তবে বজ্রানলে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো